Hey everybody, John here again, and we're going to go further down the rabbit hole. I'm just kind of making this up. I just grabbed a bunch of records and see where we could go. But thank you for anyone who's sticking around watching this. We left off with Motorhead, which is the Damned to Motorhead, which was Dave Vanian, Lemmy, Rat Scabies, Filthy Animal, Taylor, Captain Sensible, Fast Eddie Clark, and Algie Ward. Algie Ward, of course, was in Tank. Fast Eddie Clark from Motorhead went on the Fast Way. But so we're going to start off with the Damned, and there's Algie Ward on the Smash It Up single. But when Algie left to form the band Tank, Damned got another bass player called Paul Gray. And this is the Black Album from 1980, a good record. And I pulled out, as a better picture, Paul Gray, a pretty good replacement for Algie Ward, leather jacket and all. And what did I pull? This is Damned But Not Forgotten. I don't remember what year this came out, but this is like B-sides, alternate takes, and maybe some unreleased on here. Damned But Not Forgotten. And then I'm not gonna show. I have a lot of Damned records, a lot with my wife's. But this is from '87. But this is live at the Lyceum, 1981, and this features Paul Gray, and they do Ballroom Blitz by the Sweet. But Paul Gray, after he left the Damned, he joined UFO, and he plays. Actually, I think Pete Way was already gone, but he replaced. He's the bass player, so he kind of filled in on Pete Way's spot. And there's Paul Gray right there. And UFO. This is not a good record, but interesting is that UFO on an earlier record, and this is just a absolute classic, Lights Out. But UFO covered Alone Again, or is it on this? Yeah, Alone Again, or on this record, which is a fantastic. This might be my favorite version of the song, but it's a cover of the Love classic of Forever Changes. And this is maybe like 67, and this is original Electra. I don't know what year it is, but nice old Electra. But I'm pretty sure it's 67. I mean, it has kind of short. Maybe it's 66, but that's Love. But interestingly enough, on the Anything record in '86, the Damned also covered Alone Again, or, and this is they do a stellar version too. And this is a gatefold. Actually, Paul Gray is not on this record. This would be Roman Jug and Brian Merrick and Rat Scabies and Dave Vanian. But Strawberries was the album after the Black Album, and this is like 82, maybe 82 on the Bronze label. I think it was their only record on Bronze. And this is got Roman Jug on bass. Paul Gray on bass, Dave Vanian, Rat Scabies, Captain Sensible, and Roman Jug joined on keyboards. And Roman Jug was in this band called Victimize, which is an early ultra rare punk band from Cardiff, I believe, definitely from Wales. And I don't know which one's Roman Jug. Maybe it's him. But they only put out, I think, 2 45s, and they were put out on this. I don't know how legit this is, but it's called The Pistols. I've Been Victimized, and this is got the 2 singles and maybe some other tracks. And it's a really cool record. It's on Boot Records, so it's probably not legit. And it's a cool record in that all the songs are on side 1, And side 2 is just, look at that. We could go and see the record in the record in the record. That's down the rabbit hole. But it's just blank, just unetched wax. But in this band, Victimize, early punk bands, it's like 77, but there was Brian Merrick on bass. And Brian Merrick became the bass player for The Damned with Roman Jug. So the two guys in this band in 77 ended up joining the band in the 80s. I think, but anyway, to go Brian Merrick, after this band broke up, Brian Merrick was in the great new wave of British heavy metal band Storm Queen. And this is a nice comp put out by NWOBHM Records. And it's got a gatefold, and there's Brian Merrick on bass. And this is a great new wave of British heavy metal record. And Raising the Roof is a killer track, and I think the Battle of Britain, or Briton, as they say it in the song, I think, is a killer track. But Raising the Roof is fantastic, and it's just like a high roller release. You know, NWOBHM Records is good. It's got the book with all the track, all the story, and just tons of photos. And I highly recommend Storm Queen. This comp, I think High Roller might have put out a Storm Queen also. Probably just the same songs, but different record label, different rights, different year. But so Brian Merrick was in this, and it says it's number 387 of 600. But they were in The Damned for the great Phantasmagoria record from like 86, I think, or 84, 85, sorry, with, Grimly Fiendish was a hit and all, and Paul Gray was out, but Paul Gray, before he was in The Damned, was in a great band, Eddie and the Hot Rods, and this is one of my favorite rock and roll records of all time, just a great rock and roll record, and here's the very first Eddie and the Hot Rods, and Teenage Depression, a lot of people know, that was in the Rock and Roll High School movie, the film, and it's on the soundtrack. That was like the first song I heard to know them, although this record is great. It's got some covers and stuff. The second album's where they hit their artistic peak. But there's Paul Gray, joined The Damned, replaced Algie Ward from the Tank, and then went on to UFO. And I believe now he's back with The Damned again, at least since 2017. I think he was if I remember, I think he was a music teacher. In those off years. But Eddie and the Hot Rods, great pub rock, proto-punk, British rock and roll band. And he was also on this one, Live at the Marquee. This is a cool single if you're an Eddie and the Hot Rods fan. It's all covers. 96 Tears, Get Out of Denver, the Bob Seger tune, Gloria and Satisfaction. But like pub rock bands traditionally do a lot of covers, and they kick ass. I've seen them live like in recent years, like within the decade, and fantastic. Barry Masters, the singer, is fantastic, and the guitar player, his name escapes me, but I hung out with him after the gig. He's a good guy. He was the second guitarist, not on the debut. But Eddie and the Hot Rods also did this great single, if you ever see this, with Rob Tyner, the former lead singer of the MC5. And this is 77, and they're two Rob Tyner tunes, and Barry Masters not singing on this, but the Hot Rods are backing him up, so they blacked out his face. And this is on, I think, Island Records from 77. And Rob Tyner, of course, is in the great MC5, and this is an original on Atlantic Records. And, with Fred Sonic Smith, who later married Patti Smith. They both coincidentally had the same last name. And Wayne Kramer. And Wayne Kramer put out this record playing with the Pink Fairies. And this is like in 77. And he's playing with the Pink Fairies with Larry Wallace from the Pink Fairies, who started Motorhead with Lemmy and Lucas Fox. who, and also in this Pink Fairies is Andy Colquhoun, who was in our very first record. Andy Colquhoun and Lucas Fox, the original drummer from Motorhead, brings us back to the Warsaw Pact. So that's another little journey down the rabbit hole, brings us back to where we started, and we could still go off from here, and maybe we will if I can figure out what else to pull. But thanks for joining this little travel journey here.